Imagine this. You're in the middle of a sentence, you finally organized your thoughts, you started speaking clearly, and then someone cuts you off, as if what you were saying had no weight, as if you weren't even there. And in that exact moment, something shifts inside you. Your body tightens, your mind speeds up, and your instinct is to fight your way back in, to speak louder, to interrupt back, to say, "Hey, let me finish." But here's the truth no one tells you. The moment you have to ask to be heard, you've already lost, because average people fight for space. They compete for attention like it's something scarce, but respected people control the environment without raising their voice. And today, you're going to learn 6 phrases that do exactly that. These aren't comebacks, they're psychological tools, silent strategies that make the other person stop, step back, and realize, without you saying it directly, that they crossed a line. And number 5, and sounds polite on the surface, but in reality it hits their ego hard. If you're tired of being ignored, talked over, or treated like someone easy to dismiss, pay close attention, because after this, you won't react the same way again. The Stoics understood this long before we did. Marcus Aurelius wrote about maintaining composure, even when everything around you is chaotic. Epictetus taught that it's not what happens to you that matters, it's how you respond. And being interrupted is the perfect test of that, because when someone interrupts you, it's not about you, it reveals them, their impatience, their impulsiveness, their lack of control. But most people make the mistake of reacting on that same level. They jump into the conflict, raise their voice, try to reclaim space through force, and in doing that, they lose authority, because authority doesn't come from volume, it comes from control. So, understand this. You're not going to fight for space anymore. You're going to control the rhythm. Phrase 1, I can see you have something to say. Go ahead, I'll wait. This sounds simple, but it completely shifts the dynamic. You're not reacting. You're not confronting. You're slowing things down. And by doing that, you break their pattern. They expect resistance, they expect a fight, but instead, they get calm. And calm in this context is not weakness, it's control. It sends a subtle message. I'm not in a rush, and because I know my moment will come. And without realizing it, the other person starts adjusting to your pace. Phrase 2, finish your thought, then I'll finish mine. Here, you're creating structure. You're not asking for space, you're organizing the conversation. But the key is the tone. No irritation, no sarcasm, just steady calm. Because that communicates something powerful. I respect you, and I expect the same in return. And in any social setting, that elevates you instantly, because the person who sets the frame holds the power. Phrase 3. Now here's something different. This isn't a phrase, it's a behavior, the hard stop. Someone interrupts you. You stop immediately, no sigh, no eye roll, no visible frustration, just silence. And you look straight at them. That silence will feel heavy, too long, too awkward, too uncomfortable. Good, that's where the power is. Most people can't handle silence. They rush to fill it, they stumble, they lose their train of thought. And when that happens, you wait 1 second and calmly say, as I was saying, clean, controlled, unshaken. In that moment, their interruption becomes irrelevant, just noise that passed by. If this is already shifting the way you see things, then this is exactly the kind of mindset you need to build daily. Subscribe to Stoic Spring, because your life improves when you learn to control your emotions and act with maturity, especially in moments where most people lose control. Phrase 4. Did you jump in because you thought I was done? Or because you didn't want to hear the rest? This is precision, because you're not accusing, you're asking. But the question creates awareness. It forces the other person to reflect instantly, and most of the time, they'll backtrack. No, sorry, I thought you were finished. And just like that, you regain control, without escalating anything. Phrase 5. Pay attention to this one. I'm going to pause you for a second. I wasn't finished yet. This one is different, because you're not avoiding interruption. You're taking control of it. The word pause is everything. Think about it. Who controls a video? The one who presses pause. You're doing the same thing in the conversation. You're setting the timing. And you're doing it politely. But underneath that politeness, there's authority, because you're communicating one thing clearly. What I'm saying matters, and it's not going to be dismissed. And that hits directly at the ego of the person who interrupted you. Phrase 6. You seem really passionate about this. Why don't you go first? This is psychological strategy. When you label someone as passionate, you're subtly pointing out emotion. And in any social interaction, the more emotional person appears, less in control. You step back. You give them space. But at the same time, you redefine the dynamic. You let them talk, expand, lose structure. And then you step in when the room is quieter, more attentive, more receptive. And that's when your words land with weight. In the end, it all comes down to this. The world is getting louder. Everyone wants to speak. Everyone wants attention. But very few understand this. Respect doesn't come from volume, it comes from control, from presence, from the ability to stay grounded when others lose theirs. When you master this, you don't just stop being interrupted. You change how people perceive you. If you want to keep evolving at this level, subscribe to Stoic Spring, because when you build this kind of internal control, your life improves. You gain clarity, peace, and a level of maturity that most people never reach. And comment the word respect below, because that marks the moment you stop competing for attention and start commanding presence. Speak less, but make every word carry weight.